Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pikmin 2 playthrough. Now, the Pikmin 2 map screen is incredibly sexy and awesome, but we're not going to look at that at the moment because we're going to look at this game's enemy kind of area. I'm not showing off everything, obviously, because that would take forever, but it is a lot of fun just to mess around with these and also throw carrots at these little guys for some reason. I don't know.
It's so you can study their attack patterns, really.
Yeah, but it's cool. Also, you get to look at the treasures you can find. Not as hypnotic as the fruit though in Pikmin 3, where you can just stare at those things for hours and then get really really hungry when they get juiced. So, yeah.
If you want to 100% look at everything, just go watch a meal. Just go watch a meal's playthrough.
I'm sure that there's just a video up where it's just like all Piclopedia entries all.
But a meal makes it amusing.
Well, a lot of the dialogue in the game is amusing on its own. It's just a lot of it's hidden. The amusing dialogue is hidden, I should say, because honestly, I find the ship rather obnoxious in the dialogue that you have to read. It's just kind of whiny and irritating, and I don't know. I don't like the phrase "trying too hard," but I don't know, something about it just rubs me the wrong way. I'm not a big fan of the ship in this game.
It's also really aggravating in Smash Brothers when you don't see it coming.
Yeah. Also, just design-wise, I know it's supposed to look like a rundown piece of shit because that's the joke. But
it is a rundown piece of shit.
But I love the design for Olimar's ship in Pikmin 1, and it's established in Pikmin 3 that he is still flying this thing for some reason, but it got crash landed and we left it on the planet, so we're never seeing that thing again. Thank God. But anyway, yeah. So this is the first. No, it's not even really the first real day. Oddly enough, there's a lot more tutorial in Pikmin 2, even though it's really not necessary. Like we've got we've got a dungeon, but this is like a very limited area to explore. There's not really a lot to do. You have to do the things the game tells you to. It's a little bit strange. Like, obviously, you do have to gate some parts off, but I feel like there's way less freedom in the first couple of days here than in the First of Hope in the first Pikmin game. It's very strange. But yeah, the first thing.
How close was this to the end of the GameCube era?
It was
This
2004.
was 2004, so 2 years before the Wii came out.
Yeah, mid GameCube.
Yeah, that was the point at which Nintendo really started to push tutorials for everything. And it's not like they didn't do tutorials before. They kind of invented the in-game tutorial in a way, but they got a little tutorial heavy around that time.
Link, you must go to the desert area to find the thing. Link, I believe there's an 85% chance we'll find that thing in the desert area.
I mean, there was a point in Nintendo games where that kind of stuff was necessary because they were basically inventing entire new ways of playing games that nobody was used to. But
it doesn't bother me in the first Pikmin game because it's literally the same. It's literally like the first time a game in this style has been made before, so you need a tutorial, but it's like after day one, I don't feel like you really need as much. Like, just let me explore, I guess, whereas here, the only new areas we get access to are like this one room past this paper bag afterwards. That's really the only area the game allows us to explore before we have to do a dungeon area and have more tutorial stuff. So it's a little... The pacing in the beginning of the game is very... Even for Pikmin, it's very, very slow. So I'm not a huge fan of that.
Who set up the paper bags in such a way before the Earth ended?
Not even just before the Earth ended. Like in the 5 minutes between Olimar leaving and coming back, all of this stuff changed. Because again, these are all areas that are pulled from the first Pikmin. Like the level design, I should say. The aesthetics are different. Like they've got the snowy winter theme going on here, but all of the layouts are pulled straight from Pikmin 1, so, like, if this planet can change so drastically, like, in the blink of an eye, I wonder, like, what exactly caused the end of the human race? Was it global warming? Was it climate change? Was it...
No, it's just called spring in the northern states. Hey, I'm not wrong.
No, you are definitely not wrong. It's oh god, I hate March in Boston. It's like
there's a reason we call it Smarch.
Smarch.
Just narrowly avoided a blizzard on the way out of PAX East.
Ugh, yeah. Well, it's better than the year when you came over. You came during Snowmageddon to PAX East once, and that was
yeah,
fun.
That's right.
Anyway, so Each
Bomb
Pikmin-
rushing doesn't work anymore. What do we do?
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. Every Pikmin game has different methods for dealing with enemies, and I never remember which one's good for which. Bomb
Rushing is bad in this game. Don't do it.
you wanna throw more often in Pikmin,
Especially once you get purples.
Oh, we'll talk about purples. Oh man. There's a lot more combat in Pikmin 2. We'll see exactly why in just a moment.
Ted is your CD of puns back on the market because they're gonna start face wong again.
Maybe, I don't know. Like, the bane of my existence is past that wall there, and I really don't want to go in there.
What, the dungeons?
Oh, the dungeons. Yeah, I hate them. I'll explain why I hate them when we actually get into one. But
you don't love procedural generation?
It's not my thing, but I can appreciate it when it's done well. I'll put it that way. It's not really my thing. I'm not a big roguelike person. But if it's done well, it does indeed have the ability to give you a lot of potential content. It's just, it has to be done well.
Something like Dark Cloud 2 as opposed to Persona 3.
Honestly, though, it's kind of, I wasn't a big fan of Tartarus in Persona 3, but it was certainly a lot more interesting than, like, the first dungeon in Persona 3 is literally a straight line. Though, so
that's not a dungeon, it's a train.
Yeah, I know, but the train is the dungeon. There's a boss at
Ted,
the
I just see this theoretical jittering left and right. It's
the
like
end of month sequences do not have dungeons. They are not dungeons and should not be treated as them. One of them doesn't even have a lead-in. It's just you go there, you have a cutscene, and there's a boss, and that's your entire event.
A train can totally be a dungeon, though. Just look at Resident Evil 0.
Well, it's the game treats it like a dungeon at the very least. Oh, look, a crushed can. I guess they just didn't get a. No, wait, I think that might have some kind of product placement on it. I really can't tell.
Probably
though.
crushed by the same foot that devoured those paper bags.
To be honest, the train quote-unquote dungeon in Persona 3 is a little less jarring in the PlayStation 2 version because you're used to walking around in 3D everywhere.
I can't wait till I get purples and this goes faster.
I don't know.
Sir, my face is starting to hurt. Just do it faster and it won't hurt so much.
Let me explain why this bothers me. Like, we only have two things we can do right now: carry the can back and break the wall. In Pikmin 1, when you get to the Forest of Hope, there's a lot of different things you can do. You can go for yellows. You can go for not the gravity jumper. Is that the gravity jumper? The spring thing on the left when you exit.
It's one of the ship parts.
Yeah, you can go for the reactor. You can try to break down the walls and back. There's a lot. You're not forced to do two things. And like, look at how slowly this is going on. I'm halfway through the day. All I've done is killed one bulborb and broken one wall, and I haven't even brought back one piece of treasure yet. You can get 80 blues, not blues. You can get like 70 reds by the halfway point of the first day of Pikmin 1, and you don't even really need to know what you're doing in order to get that many.
Well, do you think it was because people were overwhelmed by the amount of things you can do in the first game?
Well, I don't. Maybe, but you know. Like, the whole point was to just do something, you know? If you just stand there doing nothing, of course you're gonna run into problems with the time limit. If you need to think, there's a pause button. So, yeah. So anyway, these are the dungeons.
Time for procedurally generated dungeons.
Not all of them are procedurally generated, but a lot of
Most
them
of
are.
them are.
Yeah, this first one isn't because it's like only 2 floors, but these are my least favorite part of the game, and I am so glad that these are not in Pikmin 3. Like, I mean, I appreciate the challenge mode in this game, I will say, because the challenge mode is basically the dungeons, but with a time limit, which means that there's actually some agency to them. But, oh god, these are...
And don't you miss the touchpad where you can just instruct the captain to go somewhere and they'll do it automatically?
Oh, dude, it is really, really frustrating in this game. So, being able to split up Louie and Olimar is supposed to let you do more multitasking, right? But, like, the captains won't do anything if you're controlling them. Like, out of Like, I could have swore that if you put a captain near an onion, they would pluck the Pikmin automatically if they were close to it. They don't do that in this game.
They don't? I thought they did in this game.
I thought they did too, but maybe I'm just being stupid, but I couldn't get them, so you have to control the captains to get them to do anything. So multitasking with them just feels like... It doesn't feel... It's way too much work, basically. It's not convenient in... It's not really...
You wind up micromanaging them more than you probably should.
Yeah, I mean, granted, it's not... Like, it's better... It is a little bit easier to multitask, but when you have two people, because it's like, okay, I can send this guy over here and then control the other one. But when you have Pikmin 3 now, this is not nearly as... It's really jarring in comparison. So,
Are there multiplayer elements in Pikmin 2?
only in the challenge mode.
Only in challenge.
There's no co-op mode.
Yeah, there should have been, though. I'm actually...
Yeah, I was like wondering if a lot of the issues that you have would be remedied if you had co-op.
Probably, yeah, it would be... Well, in the overworld areas, at the very least, it would be a lot better. I've been saying that they should have co-op Pikmin for years. It's actually really disappointing that Pikmin 3 doesn't have that option. But, you know, like, whatever.
Consider with the gamepad, too. That does seem like a missed opportunity.
Yeah, but, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, we can sell animal carcasses. And, you know, apparently these things are worth jack and shit, even though they could provide countless amounts of information to the scientific community. But whatever, they're, like, worth less than dirt, but...
They don't care about that. They're in debt.
Yeah, but, like...
We've got to have money.
Money.
Well, no, you can sell these things to a scientific lab for a lot of money. Like, scientists...
Citrus lump.
Like, do you know how much money scientists on Earth would pay right now if you had alien carcasses that they could study? Like, you'd be rich. Also, anybody want some 7-Up?
7-Up? Wow, that's a lot of lives.
That's really old school 7-Up.
Yeah, nobody uses those kinds of bottles anymore.
No, there are some places that there's some kind
a lot of local pizzerias.
Really?
There's
yeah.
there's a brand of root beer that the stores around my house sell. It's really good root beer.
I have a hoagie shop and some local pizzerias around me that still sell bottled Coke and Pepsi. And
Like, I'm kind of wondering why it's got to be more expensive to put them out that way. You know, as opposed
The novelty.
the novelty of it all, and
I
think that some people think they just think it tastes better out of a glass bottle.
It's, you know, I was gonna say whatever, but
Which, to be fair, you know, back when I was such a Pepsi addict a long time ago, I enjoy drinking it out of a bottle more than I can.
One thing I will say about drinking it out of a glass bottle rather than a plastic bottle is that the glass bottle will stay cold longer.
That is also
Yes.
that is true. That is very, very true. So in this level, we get introduced to what is probably the most game-breaking element in the series history.
Purple Pikmin.
Purple Pikmin. Oh boy, we'll get to them in just a moment. But they break this game in half. It makes it not even like it's not even funny how absurdly overpowered these Pikmin are. There's a reason why you're not allowed to grow them at your own leisure, and there's also a reason why they got replaced by rocks in Pikmin 3, which are really just like
Purple lights.
Yeah, they're purple lights, but they're just way more fun to use because you can't just respond to every situation with rock Pikmin, you know? You have to like actually use all of them. The way you're
So you have to use a purple Pikmin to lift up that half a globe?
Okay,
Yes,
so
purple Pikmin have 10 times the strength of a normal Pikmin.
I'm wondering if that's a subtle reference to Atlas.
maybe. I don't know. Here's the... Okay, so purple Pikmin have, like Ryan said, 10 times the strength of normal Pikmin. So, like, obviously you can use them to lift extremely heavy things. But, you know, they're also 10 times stronger when it comes to battle as well.
And they're also incredibly heavy, so they will stun just about anything you throw them at.
Yeah, you can stun lock pretty much every enemy in this game. Like, aside from ones that are literally on fire. You can stun lock every enemy in this game with purple Pikmin. They are...
Well, you still can with purple Pikmin, they will just light on fire.
Yeah, but, oh god, this game, I am not a fan of purples. Or yellow, why was I gonna say yellows, what the hell? Whites? Well, the big thing about purple Pikmin is that they're really, really slow fucks, but, you know, like, whatever.
There's no time limit, so whatever.
Yeah. I mean, unless if you're doing the one treasure in the last area, where you need 100 purple Pikmin, and it takes pretty much an entire day even if they're all flowers, to get it carried back to the ship. The dumbbell.
Yeah.
That it literally takes the entire in-game day to get it there. So I guess that's kind of funny, but like other than that, you know, you can just wait for them to come back. It's not really a deal breaker.
Okay. So, besides losing resistance to fire, what are the downsides of Purple Pikmin?
They're really
Nothing.
slow.
Oh, okay. Well, so they're just better than any Pikmin just entirely.
Yeah, they don't have any elemental
the-
resistance, but if you're going to be fighting something, you want purples. Because, okay, so you notice how when I throwed it, they kind of stopped in midair and did that slam? That slam stuns enemies. It'll, even really big ones, even some bosses. So it makes combat in this game a joke. Actually, like I used to think this game was kind of tough when I was a kid. That's because I didn't want to risk my purples because they were so rare. But
Yeah, they seem valuable.
But, you know, there's very little, unless if you're playing way too recklessly, there's so little danger of them getting hurt that you don't even have to worry about it.
Or if you're playing the water wraith.
We'll get to the water wraith later in this playthrough. I did make, that was like one of Ryan's few conditions for this, was that I needed to do the water wraith at some points. So I did do that dungeon, but that's like 10 parts from now, so we'll get there when we get there. Okay, this is one of my biggest problems with the dungeons. You're just waiting. You're just waiting for everything to go back to the ship. There's no real way to multitask in these.
So there's not only drag into the transporter, but you also, I imagine, gotta also drag it back to the ship.
No, it goes. Okay, so
This counts as getting it to the ship.
yeah,
Oh, okay. Well, there's that at least.
but like here, we're just watching them go back to the ship. Normally, if we were playing Pikmin 1, once you get some, like you could, I don't know if pushing helps. It makes me feel better. But
Push!
like if you're playing
You're not really pushing. You're just looking at it. I can feel it.
If you're playing Pikmin 1, unless it's the very end of the day, most of the time... Louie, why you hitting yourself, Louie? You're hitting me, sir. Why you hitting yourself, Louie?
Stop lying, Louie.
Louie, you don't.
Like, in Pikmin 1, unless it's the end of the day, you don't need to escort the Pikmin back to the ship. They'll just take it there and you can work on something else. That's part of the fun of it. In these areas, it's really not feasible to take stuff back to the ship until all of the enemies are dead, and there's a reason for that. You'll be seeing that later on. So the end of every floor is just the tedious, okay, let's get everything back now, because trying to get these stuff back to the ship while there's still hazards about means that all of your Pikmin are dead, and you have to reload your save.
Ugh.
Thankfully, though, the game does save after each floor, so you can save scum all you want. It's much easier to do a no-death run in Pikmin 2 than it is in Pikmin 1, because you don't have to, like, redo the whole day.
Did I say you can sing?
Oh. Yes, you actually did. Oh.
Do you show off the 20 of every Pikmin?
I think at least once I do.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Wow, a geyser.
Water. Oh, this is your exit.
Yeah, these are your exits. Again, this is the first dungeon, so it's really, really short, but...
Into the water, Pikmin, but we're not waterproof.
That really frustrated me as a kid. All of those guys should be dead. All of them.
Nah, it's a water geyser. It's the difference between getting hit with a super soaker and diving
No,
into the ocean.
John. There are enemies in this game that spray much less powerful sprays of water onto your Pikmin, and they can drown from that.
Okay, well, that's stupid.
Like, I don't know how else you would have gotten out of there, but... Like, seriously, man. Come on.
Pull a Skyrim and have convenient staircases right behind the treasure.
So, yeah, this is... Okay,
So why can't we use the same transporter to get to the ship that we used the objects for?
that's a good question.
I'll shut up now.
It can... You know what?
Why do we need to carry it to the ship? Can't the ship's top just come with us?
Yeah, that's actually a good point. The thing can fly, so couldn't it just fly around the top of every area and through every dungeon and just suck everything up?
Accidentally just snapped the game in half.
You know, that kind of reminds me when I realized in Super Mario Galaxy 2, wait a minute, we've got a spaceship. Can't I just fly to the end of every course?
The old Mega Man problem.
Yeah, it is the old Mega Man problem. Did you guys see the Spanish teaser for the Mega Man cartoon?
No, I have not. I request to see it at the end of this part.
Okay, if you really want to.
He's got DreamWorks face. It's really sad.
Oh, I'll take a look at it.
After this part's over. Not that there's really anything to look at, it's just today's report.
Today's report, we made money. So congratulations, we're like 10% of the way there.
Captain's log. Start now. I talked to my friend Deanna Troy the other day, and then she found out, and I was in her quarters talking to her, I found a weird black and star-spangled leotard. She talked about it today as Donna Troy. I got the names confused all the time, actually.